says, how do we know what to do without thinking? The truth is, most of us know what to do, but we are just afraid to do it. For instance, if we want to lose weight, most of us know exactly what we need to do. The formula to losing weight isn't rocket science or written in hieroglyphics. Most of us know that all we need to do is burn more calories than we consume, is it? Work out and eat healthy foods, and then lose weight. For anything in life, you must likely already know deep down what to do, but are afraid of doing it or don't believe that you are good enough to do it. The first step is realizing that you already know what to do. You just think you don't because of fear of self doubt. If you don't have any fear or self doubt about the situation and still see that you don't, I think this book is I should have read before 4 months. Now I am reading my past. Oh, how much I paid? If you don't have any fear of self doubt about the situation and you still see that you don't know what to do, then the next step is to trust that your inner wisdom will give you the answers you need. We have the ability to access an infinite number of thoughts, so there is definitely no shortage of ideas what you can do in any given moment. The only thing that is stopping us from accessing this abundance of knowledge is our own thinking. Henry Ford once said, whether you think that you can or can't, you are right. If we think, walk around, if we walk around our lives thinking we can't, then we immediately block ourselves from limits. But when we release when we release the brake in our mind and realize that it's just our thinking holding us back, we automatically return to our natural state of abundance and unlimited possibilities. And in that moment, we can receive any answer we need on what to do. In short, know that you already know, and if you don't know what you can know, what you need to know. If you know that you can always know, then what you need to know will always come to you. Trust in your own intuition and inner wisdom. It has always and will always be there for you when you need it, as long as you trust that will happen. How to follow your intuition? I already did that. The path forward is only revealed when we begin walking. There is never going to be a time where the entire path is illuminated for us to see beforehand. That would completely negate the need for faith, and that is why faith and trust is of utmost importance when manifesting something. We must have complete unwavering faith that what we want to create will come to us, and we can only do this by fully trusting in the universe to orchestrate how it will happen. We can always get what we desire in life, it just may not be as per our timeline or in the way we I want it to manifest. Our intuition or inner wisdom inner wisdom is God actually speaks to us all of the time. You know that small voice inside that always knows what you should do. Maybe it's to leave your job, forgive a person that hurt you, ask someone out, or reconnect it with someone. It's that gut feeling you get when you know what you need to do. Have you ever regretted not doing something in a moment when you got told to do it? Have you ever had a gut feeling to do something but had no logical reason as to why, but you did it anyway and amazing things happened afterward? That is your intuition. Our intuition does come to us in the form of thoughts, but remember that there is a stark difference between thoughts and thinking, as we discussed in a previous chapter. Thoughts are divine by nature and feel like they pop into our minds out of nowhere. Thinking, on the other hand, is a manual, strenuous effort that we create ourselves, which feels very heavy and typically has negative emotions attached to it. When you have divine thought from infinite intelligence, there is a sense of knowingness to it. It contains the truth, and you just know deep down that it's right. Your intuition will almost never seem logical or rational, but that's exactly what we want because we don't want to be predictable. If it were predictable, it wouldn't be miraculous and it wouldn't contain the infinite possibility of the universe, which are all spontaneous by nature. Your intuition will almost always go against your logical, rational mind, so be prepared for that. Hi, Lakshman. Hi, say yes. Good evening. It will whisper to you that you should talk to a random person in a coffee shop, which will lead to a beautiful friendship. Or it will tell you to call up a friend spontaneously, which might let you find out they really needed someone to be there for them during a different time. Wow, this is nice. It will tell you to step into and live in your divine gift and put yourself out there to share the truth of what you know. Hi, hasten song. It will softly beckon you to pursue what you truly want in life versus following what everyone else says that you should want. These are few examples of infinite number of ways it will speak to you. And when you follow it, it will always create miracle and abundance beyond your wildest imaginations. So why don't more people listen to their intuition? If it was knows what to do and creates abundance whenever it is followed. Fear. My day is going nice. I I I used to go to till Friday I went to gym and my back hurts, my bone hurts, everything hurts. I can't sit, I can't stand, but I can read. So yeah, my day is good. Thank you for asking. I hope your days are also good. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, starting days. Listening to our intuition can be scary or extremely daunting. This is because our intuition lives in the space of the unknown. In other words, our intuition is spiritual and operates in the field of infinite possibilities, which by nature is the field of unknown. We as a humans always fear the unknown because we can't predict what might happen. It is only when we step into the unknown that we can begin to experience the limitless possibilities that life can bring to us. This is why magical things and miracles happen when we trust our intuition. We are literally stepping into zone of pure possibility. It is for this reason that we only need to know the what of what we want to manifest, but not the how. The only way you can enter this phase of miracles is through non thinking. If we think, we immediately get rejected out of the space and enter a state of anxiety, worry, and suffering. Our thinking will try to predict that what might happen based on the past. This is why most people get more of the same of what they have always gotten. That is true. They try to use their limited personal mind to create something they have never experienced before, innocently not realizing that they must step into the unknown by entering the state of non thinking and listening to their intuition. We can only ever create something we have never experienced in the realm of infinite possibilities, but the only way to make that happen is to go where we haven't gone before, which is the unknown. In summary, your intuition always knows what you need to do in the present moment, but only way to access it is by getting into a state of non-thinking. Your personal mind will freak out because you're stepping into the space of infinite possibilities, the unknown. But if you remember that it is just thinking that is making you feel fear, the fearful thinking will fall away and the courage you need to act on your intuition will naturally surface. Busy as much as possible, smart idea. It is in this moment that you must have faith in your inner wisdom to guide you through life even when you don't know what will happen next. But that's the adventure and joy of it. The unknown is also the only way to manifest what you want in your life if you don't already have it. You have to do what you haven't done in order to get what you don't have. You have to do what you haven't done in order to get what you don't have. When you're operating from intuition, it's not like you're going to feel fear all of the time. The fear is only present as long as you think is revolving around fear. Once you acknowledge the fear and understand that it's only your thinking that's causing those feelings, the illusion will fall apart and you will fall back into peace, joy, and pure love. This is the space you want to stay in, which will allow you to create the positive feelings that are prerequisition to manifesting all you could possibly imagine for yourself. Hi, hi, user 1D. Yes, I had my dinner and I did some walking also. Now I'm reading. I hope you also had your dinner. The story of the Zen and the scholar empty your cup, creating space for miracles. Okay. Once upon a time, there was a wise Zen master. People traveled from far away to seek his help. In response, he would teach them and show them the way to enlightenment. On this particular day, a scholar came to visit the master for advice. I have come to ask you to teach me about Zen, the scholar said. Soon it became obvious that the scholar was full of his own opinion and knowledge. He interrupted the master repeatedly with his own stories and failed to listen to what the master had to say. The master calmly suggested that they should have tea. So the master gently poured his guest a cup. The cup was filled, yet he kept pouring until the cup overflowed into the table, onto the floor, and finally onto the scholar's robes. The scholar cried, "Stop! The cup is full already. Can't you see?" "Exactly," the Zen master replied with a smile. "You are like this cup, so full of ideas, and nothing more will fit in. Come back to me when an empty cup." It is ironic how much could be written about nothing. That's what space is, nothing. When we study the universe, quantum physics, we realize that everything comes from nothing. Therefore, the great spiritual masters call this is a great nothingness. For there to be creation, there must be first be space. The same is true for our own minds. If you want something new to be created, such as new thoughts, then you must first create space so that you can receive new ideas that can change your life. You have UPI scanner, sister. I love to give you some money. How much you can give, but thank you. Must create some space that you can receive new ideas that can change your life. Just like this teacup, your mind is completely full of old thinking. It is impossible to have any new thoughts come into your mind to create the change you seek. The way we can create this, how much do I want? That is a good question, but don't have answer for that. The way we can create this space is through non thinking. As soon as we stop our strenuous effort to think, we immediately create space where new thoughts and ideas can enter our mind. The way we can create this space is through non thinking. What is non thinking? As soon as we stop our strenuous efforts to think, we immediately create space we thought, hi bros. Immediately create space where new thoughts and ideas can enter our minds. Questions that challenge our current way of thinking are also a great way to create space in our minds. All the magic happens in this space of nothingness. For instance, great athletes go through intense periods of training, but the best athletes know that they need an equally intense period of rest afterwards to maintain peak performance. It is during this rest period that they recover, build muscles, and become stronger. This space they create for themselves through rest is where everything they wanted from the workout manifests. When Thomas Edison was confronted with a particular challenging problem, he would sleep in his chair while holding a steel ball in each of his hands. Eventually, he would slip into a deep enough stage of sleep where the ball would drop and wake him up, and the solution to his problem would pop into his mind. Everything comes from nothing. And Edison understood the concept of creating space for new thoughts to enter his mind instead of attempting to use effort to solve problems with his old way of thinking. He knew that his old thinking was not going to give him the solution to his challenge. We can't solve problems by using the same level of consciousness we were at when we created them. Hi, Hafsa. Albert Einstein had differently quirky, enigmatic behaviors just like Edison, but the similar understanding of creating space. When Einstein was stuck on a difficult problem, he would stop working on it and play the violin. As he was playing, the answer would come to him out of seamlessly nowhere, and then he would have the solution to his problem. Einstein had created space within his mind through non thinking to be able to receive divine downloads from the universe. We don't have to try to figure everything out. Even the people we deem genius didn't strain and exert effort when making the greatest discoveries in the world. So, what makes us think that we have to? We are no different than them and are all connected to the same source. With a correct understanding, we can also receive insights to any challenge we facing. We only ever one thought, one insight, and one idea away from living a completely different experience of life. Here is the process for receiving divine downloads when you are confronted with a challenge. What questions I need to answer? I'm reading a book. This is called Don't Believe Everything You Think. So I am reading this book because I found the content is very good. So I'm reading it. Here is the process for receiving. So next part I'm reading. Here is the process for receiving divine downloads when you are confronted with a challenge. Become aware that your thinking is the root cause of all negative emotions. Create space by surrendering any manual thinking. Have complete faith in your inner wisdom will give you the answer. Also surrender. Don't believe everything you think. Yeah, don't believe everything you think. Correct, no? That is absolutely true. Become aware of any feeling that arises as you surrender and magnify those feelings of love, peace, and joy. Meet what you're facing with love, and answer will come to you. If it seems almost too simple, that's a good thing. The truth is always simple. Although it may be simple, it's not always easy, and even a greatest spiritual master struggle at times. What's important is not when we get caught in our thinking, because it's inevitable, but what we do when we catch ourselves thinking again. As long as you continuously remember that we can only ever feel what we are thinking, and what thinking is the root cause of all our suffering, then you're free. Oh, this is so much nice, y'all. Don't do not let the behavior of others destroy your inner peace. Inner peace, inner peace. If you watch Kung Fu Panda movie, whenever I hear the word inner peace, I remember inner peace. As you go along your journey of non-thinking, you will inevitably hit some roadblocks along the way. So I would like to bring up some of those potential issues before you encounter them, so that it is little bit easier for you. Once you begin living your life in non-thinking, you will be having the time of your life, not having very many worries, stress, or problem in your life. Many of them will just vanish before your eyes, because if you don't see things as a problem anymore, they literally stop being a problem for you. What you will notice is that you haven't felt this type of peace and serenity in your life before, and thus it will feel unfamiliar. Hey, how much you want to give? You didn't tell me. As humans, we biologically. Oh, I don't want to. Don't believe everything you think, so I will not believe. As humans, we biologically don't like what's unfamiliar because it means uncertainty. As humans, we biologically don't like what's unfamiliar because what's ironic is that right about this time is when most people begin thinking that something is wrong, because they feel so happy and peaceful the majority of the day. Many feel like they are not as productive, have lost their edge, or are just lazier. This is far from the truth, and it is just your brain attempting to begin thinking again to create the illusion of safety it wants to feel. The truth is that we are most productive as humans when we are happy and the state of non thinking. Time seems to fly when we are in the state of pure joy. Tasks are easier, we perform better, we gravitate to us, people gravitate to us, we attract way more abundance, and miracle begin to occur out of nowhere. Seriously, then I don't know my UPI ID. I will. How would I know? If I give my number, everybody will see. Way more abundance and miracle begin to occur out of nowhere. You just have to stay in the state of non thinking long enough to experience these things, and you will never want to go back. Huh, do one thing. You know my Instagram account. Now subscribe to my Instagram account. I'll send you my UPI ID. This is when I don't remember my UPI number, UPI ID. This is when faith becomes of the. You have my number. Then pay to that number. This is when faith becomes of the utmost importance. Having faith that things will be okay. Know that the universe is working for you, not against you. Know that everything happens for a reason and that there are no failures in life, just lessons and opportunities for us to grow. We must have faith in the unknown because that's the only place that contains the possibility for anything to be different than the life we are living right now. The unknown is where all possibility exists, including everything you could possibly ever want for your life. Once you Once you have the courage to make the leap into the unknown and not be afraid of it anymore, it's impossible that your life won't change. If you begin to feel like something wrong because you feel way too peaceful and content, you know that it's only your mind trying to make you think again. Your mind is greatest salesman and knows exactly what to say to bring you back into vicious cycle of destructive thinking. Oh my god. It is in this moment that you have the choice to have faith in unknown and stay with the feelings of happiness, peace, and love, or to go back to old pattern of familiar pain or psychological suffering. We can either choose to be free and happy in the unknown, or to be confined and suffer in the familiar. Yeah, I am sad. You told no, you will give 20K. Now you're not giving. I'm sad. If you do fall back into thinking, it is completely okay. Do not beat yourself up about it. Don't feel guilty that it happened. There is no need to punish yourself because that will only perpetuate the thinking. Know that it is absolutely human to think. Once you catch yourself and see absolutely human to think. Once you catch yourself and see that it is your thinking that's causing you suffering, that's all you have to do in order to bring yourself to state of peace, happiness and love again. The transition can happen painlessly and effortlessly if you let it. Now what? Nice book actually. The first pages are okay, but I think the last pages are good. I like reading this book. You deleted message. There will come a time when you believe everything is finished. That will be the beginning. Although this is the end of the book, it is end of the book. It is just the beginning of a new life for you. You are only ever one thought away from peace, love, and joy, which come from a state of non thinking. Remember this and keep it close to your heart because it is all the hope you need when you inevitably get tough. In the beginning, I promised you that you would not be the same person as you were before you read this book. If you began reading this book with the intention of having an open and willing mind, then you have already received numerous insights that have completely changed the way you look at life. And thus, you are not the same person as you were before. Once you see something new from an inside, you cannot unsee it. Once your consciousness expands, it cannot contract again. Wow. We may forget from time to time and causes ourselves to suffer when we begin thinking again, but as soon as we remember that, we immediately realize that we are the ever expanding awareness of life itself and find love, peace, and joy in the present. If it seems like this is too simple and that it can be all there is, that is just our mind causing you to think again. The truth is simple and will always be. Anything that makes something complex and intricate is only thinking you further away from the truth. The truth is not something you think, but something that you know and feel deep in your soul. Listen to that still inner wisdom inside of you that knows all of this. Let it guide you through your life. We are most fulfilled when we listen to our soul. The world will continuously adore. I was arguing about God with someone. I found a point. I'll take photo of this. I do like this. Sleep in yourself. Listen to that still inner wisdom inside of you that all of this. Let it guide you through your life. The we are most fulfilled when we listen to ourselves. The world will continuously advertise to us that we are not enough, that we are missing something, or that we don't have everything we want. People will constantly bombard you with their own opinions, judgments, and advice. Know that they are incorrectly caught up in their thinking and thank them for caring. But do not fall into illusion that you need any of that. It is for you. See, people will constantly bombard you with their own opinions, judgments, and advice. Know that they are incorrectly caught up in their thinking and thank them for caring, but do not fall into illusion that you need any of that. Everything you could possibly ever want and need is already inside of you. You're already all of the love, joy, peace, and fulfillment you have ever wanted. It is only when we forget that fact and get caught up in our thinking that we do not see it. Continue to live in this state of pure peace and feeling safe. Bye bye, guys. See you tomorrow if I don't have anything to do. Take care. Good night.